Good afternoon and welcome to the Geek Show. I'm Rose Mackay and I'll be your host for today, and joining me across from me across the table is Em Gilmore.
Hello everyone. That made me sound like I was like you're going to across the Atlantic or something. I was like, yeah, I've travelled, guys. I'm not.
Yeah, we have actually got Skype calling, and people use Skype anymore? Who knows?
That is a question.
I usually just use Zoom now. Zoom, and then sometimes Microsoft Teams when people make me.
When they want to be different.
I'm gonna say the pandemic has changed a lot. But
exactly.
Anyway, so today's topic of conversation, of course, is going to be the Scream 6 movie, which of course just recently came out. What was it, like a week ago now?
It was last Wednesday. It was the 8th that came out on.
I'm not gonna lie, it feels like a lifetime ago, and that might just be because uni is currently making feels feel like they're moving at 100 miles per hour. But
don't even. We're not here to talk about uni.
Yeah, we're actually here for an hour of refuge away from our uni. Like, see, this morning I was feeling physically sick on the bus with nausea because I'm just so stressed.
It's so much fun, isn't it?
I know. I had to actually Google, can you get like nausea from stress?
It's called anxiety.
Turns out, yes, you can. Well, Google says so anyway, and we believe Googie. That's my nickname now for Google. Googie, the almighty Googie. Anyway.
I just also whacked my microphone doing that.
Just say, if that catches on, I would like full copyright of that.
That's quite good actually.
Yeah, that's if Google wants to make their own like animated voice like Siri or Alexa, call it Googie. Please do.
Okay.
It probably does already have a name. I think it's Google.
Yeah, it probably does.
Probably does. So before we just jump into that, let's have a little bit of a general chat, because you don't only come here for the chat about the shows, you also come here because apparently me and Em are good at talking. Who knows? So Em, how have you been?
I'm good. How are you? Well, you just said not great. But
not great.
Apart from uni, I'm great.
I mean, how what's getting me through uni is just binge watching show after show. Like. I am now blaming you for my addiction to What We Do in the Shadows.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I knew you'd like it, and you're like, oh no, I don't think I will. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, give it a shot, and I did, and I'm fully hooked. So
exactly.
I also am now more hooked than Em because I found out that season 4 was on Disney Plus.
I did not know this, and I've been thinking of having to wait months.
I was like, have you seen season 4? And Em was like, no, because it's not on anything. I'm like, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, that was a sad moment when I realised that.
If in doubt, ever just Google on Disney Plus. Why not?
And Disney seems to have everything now. Like,
yeah,
everything.
It has everything but its own content. You look around, you're like, where's the Disney original shows?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know the last time, apart from The Mandalorian, I don't think I actually watched much Disney original stuff for a while, actually.
Yeah,
everything else would go.
Speaking of The Mandalorian, we've also got season 3, which
I've not seen episode 3. I've seen the first 2 episodes. I've not time to watch.
So you're saying to me to keep my lips sealed?
Yes, very much I am.
Okay, I understand that, and I will keep my lips sealed. So
throw away the key.
Throw away the key. Season 3 so far. What are you thinking?
I know where it's heading, but it's taking its sweet time to get to it.
Yeah, it feels like it's on a long trek.
Mm-hmm. It's taking a while, and it's really annoying me because as much as I love Mando and I love Grogu, I did not need to see Grogu just scooting about a cave for an entire episode, which was episode 2.
I wonder if the novelty of Grogu is starting to wear off.
It is. I love Grogu's pieces. It's like a wee serotonin boost every Wednesday, but it does feel like
it's like cat
he's
memes.
not a character because he's not
speaking.
He's not got an arc or anything like that. Really,
he also doesn't have that many reactions to stuff.
It's just there. It just feels like.
I mean,
it's just there.
I can see.
I don't know how to describe it.
I think what's going to happen is we'll be able to rewatch season 3 as a whole and think that was a great show. But I don't know if it's
on the weekly basis
because weekly release.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's given me a lot more time to watch it. I don't have the pressure to binge it and to try avoid spoilers.
True, I think.
Because right now I don't mind if I see spoilers. Like I've seen a couple of spoilers for episode 3. Don't say any more, but it doesn't bother me right now because nothing big's happened.
Yeah.
But when you get to the latter episodes, a lot of stuff. I'd like to think it's going to be a good season. I then will care about spoilers, but it does give me more time to watch it on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I mean, I think going a little bit more off the beaten path, I think I told you I've been watching The Consultant, which is a mixture of what I think might be happening at Twitter at the moment ever since Elon Musk walked in. And you ever read the book The Demon Headmaster at School?
No. I've heard of it though. I do recognise the name.
It's honestly a really good book, and it will make you look at head teachers in a completely different light, but
no need.
It's kind of a mix of that, and it's quite funny because I thought originally it must be been written to take a dig at Elon Musk because obviously it's getting streamed on Amazon Prime, and I don't know if Bezos and Elon Musk get along that well. Maybe they do, maybe they don't.
I don't know. I don't really pay attention.
And I thought maybe a dig at that, but apparently it's actually based on a book.
Oh, right, okay. Well, maybe the book's like a dig at it, I don't know.
No, the book's quite old.
Oh, right.
Like maybe a decade. So it's not a dig at Elon Musk. It's just a dig at tech, I think.
Oh. Another show that I've watched. Oh, my flatmate got into Ted Lasso.
Oh my god.
I love that show. I didn't know I was going to like it or not.
Is it any good? Cause
yeah.
I've been scouring Reddit, because that's my usual place to go.
I've only seen season 1. We need to watch season 2 because season 3 came out a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So we need to finish season 2.
And
I love season 1.
It came up in a discussion on Reddit of shows that everyone raves about, but the person who's writing about it just can't seem to get into it. And someone said Ted Lasso, and about 100 folk also agreed.
No, it's so good. I love it.
It's getting ripped to shreds on Reddit.
No taste. I don't even like football. It's not even based on the football. Really.
Is it?
It was like part of the storyline, but it's just all the characters. It's great.
Okay. Is it quite comedic?
Some of the lines in it are absolutely... I'm not going to spoil any of them, but some of them are good comedy lines.
Anyway, I think that wraps up our first section, which is just like a little bit of an intro, and you know, you get to feel like you're having a conversation with us, or we're just talking at you. So after our next song, which is going to be
Everlong by
Foo Fighters, thanks. I thought I could be able to read off the screen, but I might actually take a note of the songs. After Everlong, we're going to be discussing the Oscars, because why not do the Oscars when you're about a week late to discuss it and everyone's already taken a dig?
5 days, not that late.
It feels like a week. Anyway, with that, here's Everlong. Hello and welcome to our part 2 of the Geek Show. But today we're just, before we start our Scream rant, which I feel like could go on for half an hour.
Make it sound like it was bad.
True, but ranting just sounds passionate. It's not bad, it's passionate.
Okay.
Before we dive into that madness, we're going to just do a quick roundup of the Oscars, which, I'm not going to lie, you look very disappointed about.
Right. No. Overall, I do believe where the awards went were well deserved. There was just a few that I was kind of like, okay.
You had money on other horses.
Yeah. The biggest one was Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
That went to Jamie Lee Curtis, and as much as I love her as an actress,
I don't understand.
She was barely in Everything Everywhere All at Once.
But then
if you're going to give it to Best Supporting Actress for that film, give it to Stephanie Hsu, because she was brilliant in it.
True. But at the end of the day, it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
I know.
And sometimes these big names just kind of... The thing is, not to say she doesn't deserve it, like I've seen...
No, I'm not taking it away from her. It just felt like she was the 5th most likely in that category. If I was to rank them, she was the bottom of the list.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think people were trying to like turn this whole... who's from Black Panther again? I've forgotten her name.
Angela Bassett.
I feel like people were trying to create almost a war against the two. And
I don't understand that.
At the end of the day, I still think Everywhere All at Once would have won Best Supporting Actress. I don't think Black Panther really had that much.
I genuinely thought it was going to go to Stephanie Hsu or Kerry Condon for Banshees. But if it was going to be Everywhere All at Once, which makes sense because how many awards that ended up winning, the fact it went to Jamie Lee Curtis was a bit of an interesting one. I
mean, I haven't actually seen Everything All at Once, but I'm looking forward to it.
It's really good.
It
deserves Best Picture, I won't lie. As much as I have my money on Banshees, it's one of my favourite films of all time.
I mean...
Everywhere All at Once was well deserved.
To me, it was one of these things, I was pretty much almost certain was going to win the Best Picture, and I tried to do the Best Picture after the Oscars, which sounds weird.
I managed to watch half of them.
I mean, I always watch the Best Picture again.
I have a checklist.
Because obviously they put it back into cinemas. I mean, I was quite happy with Brendan Fraser winning the Best Actor. Like I think I said to you when we were discussing The Whale, I think he is a high contender for Best Actor.
Yeah, I'm happy he won it, obviously.
Like, I didn't, because obviously it wasn't up for Best Picture, but I was like...
No, and I kept forgetting it wasn't. Hold on, I've got the list. So basically... so The Whale wasn't for Best Picture, so there was 10 Best Picture ones, and I managed to watch half of them. Thank you very much.
That is an achievement.
I know.
Is it a struggle or is it an achievement?
Well, it's just kind of spaced out.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Top Gun Maverick was July.
Oh,
that won Best Sound, which was quite funny.
I feel like that was a consolation prize. I don't quite get the whole Top Gun thing.
It did bring people back to the cinema properly, though. To be fair, it did do a lot for cinema.
I don't know. I'm just.
So I feel like it had to award it something.
I feel like everyone goes, "Woo, Tom Cruise! He's in a plane," and I'm just like.
Do you know the thing? I love Top Gun Maverick. I've never seen the first one, which is I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I liked it. But it just feels like Star Wars on Earth.
I mean,
train up all these like fighter pilots, and then they go down a trench and blow up a big base. What does that sound like? Star Wars.
So can we just just give a massive round of applause to Everything All at Once for getting not only Best Picture, but it had Best Supporting Actress. It had, what else did it get?
Best Original Screenplay, which I really want to go to Banshees of Inisherin, because as much as Everything All at Once is great, that doesn't mean it doesn't mean the screenplay is like perfect, because the writing is completely separate to the actual production and everything like that, and I really wanted to go to Banshees, but it didn't get anything. Which I felt like
I was sitting there just kind of going, wow, that is like, I think it's the first time that M's ever predicted an Oscar that didn't actually get an Oscar.
The ones that I predicted correctly was Best Picture for Everything All at Once. Best Actress going to Michelle Yeoh, and Best Supporting Actor going to Ke Huy.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Is it what?
Predicted them right.
I thought to myself, I was like, how did I forget about Avatar: The Way of Water being put up for Best Visual Effects?
Yeah, it won Best Visual Effects, which wasn't shocking.
True. I mean, it's Avatar 2, let's be honest. That's the reason they released it at that time. They're like, we want to have an Oscar. We want to have 2 Oscars.
I haven't seen the second Avatar, though.
I
maybe I'm just, like, really I just didn't like the first one. I just couldn't get into it.
I don't really like
I've seen it once, and I've never rewatched it, and I was really young, and I think
the problem with Avatar movies is there's not a rewatchability thing there. I haven't rewatched either of them yet.
No, it's just... I get the hype for the first one. When it came out, the CGI was amazing for 2009, but now... You know,
is it that
we have? Yeah. Compared, you have Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will probably continue to get Best Visual Effects unless something better comes along.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what else was there? Of course, we had The Whale also won the Best Makeup and Hairstyling, which I did think was probably due because it somehow managed to turn Brendan Fraser from a teddy bear into a grotesque, horrible looking...
A teddy bear!
He looks a bit like a teddy bear, in my opinion, sometimes.
Yeah, I can see it.
It turned around from that to what we saw in The Whale, which...
it was really impressive.
I mean, it's one of the things I always think that behind the scenes folk never get a bigger round of applause as they probably should.
Mm-hmm.
And when something does go wrong, they'll get a massive boo. Like, they'll get a whole lot more thrown at them.
A lot of the technical prizes went to All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes.
Who got Best Score again?
Best scoring. I'm just scrolling up my list here. Was it? Best. Why can I not find this? Why we should have a list. Best scoring was All Quiet on the Western Front. Best original score.
I thought it was, but I couldn't remember. I didn't want to say it was wrong.
Yeah, you didn't want to go down the line.
Yeah, no, the ceremony itself was okay. I mean, the Oscars is...
I felt like they were kind of playing it safe.
I mean, they had a literal crisis team on the side.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that was like another big publicity thing, because the Oscars is always... I always wonder what's actually real and what's a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
because you know my theories. My theories was, especially the slap thing, I think the slap was staged right up until the actual slap. Until Will Smith climbed up onto the stage and proceeded to slap Chris Rock. But frankly, I think Chris Rock has got his revenge. Like, he waited a full year.
Yeah.
He must have been sat in his therapist's office, just like writing all this down and going, I'm going to turn this into a show.
The thing is, they had to completely restructure how they hand out the awards because of it, because Will Smith's obviously banned now from the Oscars. Usually the past winner hands them out, but they couldn't do that, so they had to completely restructure it. I
mean, that sometimes works in their favour though. I'm like when the Oscars switches itself up. I just wish it hadn't been because somebody had committed an act of violence.
I know. Because some of the paintings were interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Jen Ortega was doing...
was that the Screen Actors Guild Award? She was paired with Osprey Plaza.
Yeah, and I remember watching that and thinking it was absolutely hilarious. But then again, I'm not going to lie, anything with Jen Ortega in it is going to win a 5-star for me. She could sit there and read the phone book and I probably would just give her a 5-star.
Sometimes the paintings are a hint towards castings, as Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield's was, because apparently they're going to be in like some sort of romance time travel film that I got announced like literally 2 days later. Like, I was like, that makes more sense.
It's advertising before they actually start advertising.
Yeah, I don't know about the other one, but that's the one that I knew of. I was like, oh.
Anyway, I think that was a pretty successful Oscar, and of course I'll be going back to watch the winners, you know, obviously not Top Gun because I refuse to watch Star Wars on Earth.
You've not seen Banshees though, have you? You didn't win anything. You need to watch it.
I haven't watched it yet, and that's because I've had some very mixed reviews from
it's brilliant. Members. It's so good.
What can I say? Me and my mum kind of like the same stuff. I might need my mum's reincarnate, just not in looks. That's my sister.
You have to watch it. I will make you watch it. Or we'll be having a Banshee situation where I've stopped talking to you.
No, you wouldn't dare.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would.
Who would you talk about stuff with. You have to talk to yourself.
Yeah. Who's I don't already?
You start your own podcast. Talking to themselves.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Yeah. Right, anyway, I think that wraps up this section pretty neatly. So, before we move on to our Scream talky stuff, we're going to listen...
Scream talky?
We're going to listen...
some sort of like walkie-talkie, but Ghostface style.
But before we get on to our Scream walkie-talkie, we're going to listen to Just Like Heaven by The Cure. So let's give that a listen. Hello and welcome to the Geek Show. We're going to now start talking about the actual thing you come here to listen to, which of course is Scream 6. And our thoughts, now we've kind of split this into two parts. We're going to be talking about Scream 6, the movie itself, and then we're going to chat a little bit what we expect for Scream 7.
Scream 7 hasn't been confirmed yet, let's reiterate that, but it's more or less going to be. It's
confirmed in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, considering Scream 6 is the highest grossing Scream film at the box office, you're not telling me not to go 7 because they set up so well for 7.
They have, like... It would be crazy not to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I imagine we're going to have like a long wait. But anyway, let's just chat about Scream 6. What did you think? I loved it
so much. It's my favourite Scream sequel. It didn't beat the original because the original is just, for me, one of the near perfect films.
Yeah.
But it's the second best Scream film.
I feel like it's a repeat of Scream 2, which is my favourite Scream.
It's like an elevated Scream 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it took what made Scream 2 good, in my opinion, and then made it better.
Yeah.
So, for me, the ranking is still Scream 2 first, and then the original, but Scream 6 is actually now third place.
Scream 6 is
knocking Scream 4 off its pedestal in the top 3.
Oh, I mean, Scream 4 is now in the bottom half of the ranking.
Oh.
For me, because it's now 4 out of 6.
Can I say, though,
I love Scream 4, sorry. I don't hate any Scream film, like, put it out there.
But can I just say, I think it's quite interesting how I would say that Scream 1 to 4 is Wes Craven's Scream. Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone could ever touch that. Scream 1 to 3 obviously being the trilogy, and then Scream 4 being a nice little wrap-up epilogue, and him being like, you can't replace me no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all thought we'd get the legacy characters getting a walk out the door. Instead he kept them, he was like, no, I'm keeping them forever, and then unfortunately Wes Craven died. So R.I.P.
Let's put a spoiler warning here. If you haven't seen Scream 6,
yeah, I mean we'll put a Scream spoiler warning on the YouTube video as well. So if you're still listening and you feel like ranting because we've given you some spoilers,
that's not our fault.
We gave you major warning.
Okay, so spoilers now. Yeah, Scream 4, none of the legacy characters or the main characters, as they still were at that point, got killed, and people were fine with that. And yet somehow people have an issue with the core 4 all surviving.
True, I mean, to
Scream
be fair,
6.
in Scream 2 at least we did get a major character death with Randy.
Don't remind me.
R.I.P. But this one I did have a couple of problems with the amount of fake out deaths, would I say, because I honestly would have been fine with Gail dying, which sounds very heartless.
I'm the same, because as much as I love her as a character,
she
doesn't have a place. It's not her story anymore. And
I almost feel like bringing her back for Scream 7 means that you're going to have to watch her die.
Oh, there's no way she's surviving another one.
Which to me feels a little bit like when he was doing the whole monologue about Gail being alone and all that. I mean, I know Gail is an awful person, let's be honest. If Gail was a real person, she would be getting slated by everyone on social media. She would have been cancelled at least 4 times. But I can't help but feel sorry for her.
What really annoys me is why did they go back on her characterisation that she had at the end of Scream 5 when I'm not writing a book in this now, I'm going to write about Dewey, and then she wrote the book, which then got Scream 6 happening. Like, I did feel like, oh, okay, why did you do that? Also, I liked how she went, I'm not going to write a book on it. Why
would you reveal that Sam is Billy's daughter? Like, that's the one thing she could have just missed out.
I mean, I think everybody knew though, because think about it, like, Richie and Amber knew in Scream 5. Like, Amber literally says it's a small town and your mum's a drunk. I think everyone kind of knew.
True. I just don't think it was on public knowledge, like social.
Yeah, outside of Whisper, it probably wasn't public knowledge.
And I think Gail's death would have been a pretty good way to end, because like it was a pretty brutal attack.
Yeah. Oh, it was. I thought that she was a goner because the way that she was like lying on the ground and Sam was like, with her, I just thought she was dead.
I feel like they might have given her the Kirby treatment, where like maybe Tessa didn't react as well or wanted Gail to survive. If so, Tessa, you made a mistake.
Speaking of Kirby, how good was Kirby in it?
Kirby was good, and I almost fell. Oh, actually, no, I did fall for the whole red herring.
Yes, I thought, because they hinted at it earlier, going, oh, maybe it's someone who's like traumatized, and then they become Ghostface. So when they, when Detective Bailey phoned about that, I assumed, oh, that was the hint. That was the hint. No, it wasn't.
Can I say I love Detective Bailey because he kind of has a twist on Dewey.
Yeah.
He is like the anti-Dewey. Dewey? He's the anti-Dewey. Because, like, Weird Dewey's like, you know, he comes off originally as quite a goofy, you know, father figure, you know, very PG.
Yeah.
And then there's this horrible twist where he's like, aha, I am the killer all along, and here are my 2 monstrous children, and oh yeah, I'm also Richie's father. I'm like, okay, you're a bad father. Okay?
I did not see that coming. So I predicted one killer correctly. I was right with Ethan. When he took his mask off, I went, yes, I was right.
I could hear you giving like a little yes in the cinema.
Didn't see Quinn coming because she had the death.
I mean, the thing is, if you rewatch it, every other death is pretty brutal, apart from Quinn's.
I think every death that was committed, apart from Gail's attack, was Detective Bailey up until the last scene.
See, I don't think it was. I think it was
the gun in the shop was definitely Bailey. And the ladder was, because he had to arrive to settle Quinn's fake death, and Ethan said he was at Econ, which would have been checked out as an alibi.
I mean, I think...
and it was definitely him that killed the other Ghostface, the opening scene.
Yes.
It was definitely Bailey did that, because Quinn was in the flat.
I mean, I have a couple of theories I'm going to bring up for Scream 7, where I think there's a massive reveal. Okay. But I won't talk too much about who I think killed who, because it kind of links into the theory. So I loved watching it with a live cinema audience.
You hadn't done it before, had you?
No, and it was just...
Because the cinema was packed.
It was packed. I think every single seat was filled.
Oh yeah, it was mobbed.
I remember they had the opening where, you know, the 18 rating, and they're like, hot body gore or whatever. And I remember hearing the person behind me, sitting next to me going, wait, what? And I was like, have you not watched a Scream movie before? Like,
you said there was a guy dressed as Ghostface behind us.
Yes.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Because neither did my brother. Because we went to see my brother as well. We didn't notice this.
Talking about what we missed the post-credit scene.
Yeah, so I've seen it. It's been leaked. We didn't need to see anything. It basically was just Mindy just going, oh... It was like an extension of like the scene where in the college campus like grounds, which is like doing the rules of like, the franchise. And it's basically like, oh, it seems every film needs a post-credit scene, doesn't it? And she kind of looks at the camera type thing. It's not anything ties in, don't worry.
So it's not important, thank goodness, because I was kind of going to...
I was paranoid, I know.
I was a bit for like 6 when I heard there's a post-credit scene. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit disappointing.
I was paranoid. Yeah, I was paranoid as well, but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I am loving this whole, like, they're getting very meta. I think, obviously, the next movie might be about, like, cinematic universes and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe.
I've heard some weird theories. Like, you know, who was it? Was it the Stab movies? One that does time travel.
Stab 5.
Yes, they were like, oh my goodness.
That's really bad that I know that.
People have some really weird
It's
theories.
Stab 5 and... Because isn't it? Oh, it's the opening to Scream 4.
But I'm trying to say, I felt like Scream 6
talk about it.
was a subversion and then another subversion back to what we knew.
Yeah.
Like, this began with the opening scene. The opening scene, Ghostface takes his mask off.
That threw me. And also, I was right in who's going to opening kill. It was Samara Weaving's character. I was right about that. I knew it because going into it, apart from Jenna Ortega, she was also the other really famous person. So I was like, well, probably it's going to be hard because she's barely in the trailer, apart from that one scene.
I mean, can I just say, I loved the whole... thing is, I was sitting there when they took the Ghostface mask off. I was like, this can either go really good or it can go spectacular.
Because I was like, oh, we're going to see some Ghostface perspective, we're going to like know who it is, and then we're going to just watch the rest, try to figure it out, and then the twist happened. Oh, it was good.
Yeah. I mean, I love the whole, like, twist and a twist. It's like, it takes an unexpected twist and then it goes back to the path that we know so well. So, you're never quite
technically there was
sure.
3, also one killing we didn't see because the body's in the fridge. Yeah. But there was 3 killings in the opening scene.
Yeah. But can I just congratulate the fact that Scream continues to show the violence as something to be taken seriously?
It was the most glorious one, this. Yeah. Especially... Annika's stabbing the stomach.
Oh my god. Can I just say...
That looked real. I had a sore stomach when I watched that. I was like, ow.
And I just loved seeing, like, because other movies would probably be a bit more scared to show the actual after effects of the fall.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
But, like, Scream went right on in there and just gave us a full zoom in of what that head tunnel would look like.
I knew about the ladder scene because of the trailer, and I knew as soon as she was last to go on to it, I was like, this is it. She's done for.
She's done, yeah.
R.I.P. Should have lived.
I loved the Ghostface shrine as well. I felt that was an amazing set piece. It's like we were saying, it's Scream 2 but elevated. And wow, was that elevated. The one thing I love about Scream 2 is my main thing is the fact that the ending takes place on a stage.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be dramatic...
Oh yeah, you love that.
I love that whole aspect. I love, like, when they actually play with set pieces. And this one took place in a Ghostface shrine. By the way, made up by Richie. This guy was seriously into stab movies, wasn't he?
Oh, he was weirdly obsessed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, part of me thinks that maybe they should have played into that instead of having him, oh, I don't know what the movies are.
No, because that was his alibi.
Is it a good alibi?
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a good one, but it worked to a degree.
Yeah, and can we just talk about the Ghostface masks as well? Like,
especially when the two Ghostfaces turned up at the same time, attached Chad,
and
then both did the night clean at the same time. Oh, it was just perfection.
Chef's kiss, wasn't it?
It was so good.
Yeah. I think this movie is definitely probably going to be in the top 3. It'd be very difficult to bump it unless Scream 7 completely blows everyone's mind. But bringing it down to Scream 7, we're going to move on to our second part of Scream 2, Scream 6 Part 2, which is actually part 7.
You can tell it's been a long week, can't you?
Yeah, before we do that though, we're going to play Everybody Knows My Secret, which of course actually comes from the Batman movie. We tried to bring in some of the new music from the Scream 6, but our systems just aren't cooperating with us. Don't worry, we'll take a hammer to them for next week. So with that, Everybody Knows. Hello and welcome to our 4th and final section of our Scream Part 2. Who knows? Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about Scream 7 theories, and there's actually been a theory that I wanted to share with you, but I thought I'd share it on air because why not get your reaction?
Okay.
I mean, I can always film it, but okay. So you know we're chatting about the Ghostface and who killed who.
Mhm.
So you know the therapist's office.
Yes.
There is a theory going on, and this links to Stu's return because, of course, they invented that Stu could survive getting hit by a TV. And first things first, I want to see what this guy's face looks like by now. Nobody notices it. It's probably it just looks like a thumb at this point. But like, so the theory is that there was actually a 4th Ghostface.
Well, technically mean 5th, because think about it, the opening scene there was technically a 4th.
Anyway, out of the main Ghostface,
okay.
The actual proper Ghostface, not the loser who couldn't even kill properly.
Well, he took out Samara Weaving's character.
True. She survived ready or not.
Yes, very much so.
There's a theory that there actually is probably several ghost faces that maybe just didn't get found out. One of them being Sam's boyfriend. I'm not completely convinced about that.
I saw that one as well because as much as it'd be nice if it was just finally a boyfriend that's not out to get you and did die by being good. Yeah, there's something about him. Yeah. Maybe I just don't trust.
He's just too perfect.
People.
Okay?
Yeah.
Perfect people just shouldn't exist. Okay?
Exactly.
We're all messed up. Anyway, so
okay.
The Scream 7
deep.
theory that I have, and I think a lot of people on the internet have, is that it's going to be a Ghostface pair up, though not intentionally. They didn't plan this in advance. One of them being Tara, and
you're
one
so on to this theory about Tara. You're so convinced.
If I'm right, I will happily do a dance in the cinema. I'll
get that on video. I don't care about it done for piracy, being in the background, dying that filmed.
The theory is that Stu was already in Scream 6, and when he went to the psychiatrist's office to steal Stan's file, because that's the thing is he could have just killed the therapist and got left, but he took the file because he wants to study her. And the whole idea is apparently the whole Scream 7 will be similar to Scream 3, as in revenge, because who doesn't love a good revenge plot? Where Tara is getting revenge on Sam for breaking up her family because the dad left because Sam couldn't whisper yell and couldn't look behind her and close the door. That's a stupid idea. And Stu getting revenge on Sam as a way of getting revenge on Billy, because at the end of the day, Stu's kind of overlooked both in the real world and also in this movie world. Like, Billy is the number one stab.
He went along with the killings and didn't know the motives until Billy said that to Sydney. You see Stu look at him like, oh, there's a motive. He just went along for the fun, and that's why I love him, because he's just insane. And
I think the thing as well is it didn't Stu do most of the killings. Like, it's been figured out.
He did do a majority.
So imagine this. Imagine you're Stu. You've had a TV thrown at your face, and now you're horribly mutilated for life. You're also going to be facing a long time in prison.
He's definitely locked up somewhere. If he's alive,
Meanwhile, Billy gets the freedom of death.
So I was convinced he was
and not only does Billy get the freedom of death, but he also gets this whole idea of getting to live on through his daughter.
Yeah.
If I was Stu, I'd be ready to kill the daughter.
So I was so convinced he was coming back in Scream 6, and he didn't, unfortunately. But they really are... Well, Here's the thing.
They're
So
laying the
they
groundwork.
hinted at it by saying, "Oh, crushed by TV." If you believe that,
Yeah.
but then Ethan gets taken out by a TV.
Yeah, but doesn't he get shot again? He's like the jump scare.
No, that's Quinn. Was it?
No, he's the jump scare as well.
Was it?
Yeah, he gets shot.
Anyway.
So I think they're laying the groundwork for Stu to come back, or at least be involved in some way.
Well, it makes sense because Scream.
Also,
this trilogy. Well, Scream. If it's a trilogy, if Scream 7 is like greenlit. It is mirroring the original trilogy because the original is in Woodsboro. This second one is the family of one of the killers come back for revenge.
yes. And I just think either it's going to be Stu and Tara, or they're going to go the Scream 3 route where Billy was just a massive, he just slept around time.
Yeah, what do you say,
Yeah,
We're on
air. We can't do, there's no Watergate. So, yeah, I think either that or they're going to go Scream 3. But I think Scream 7 with Stu and Tara joining up to destroy Sam would be amazing. And also it would make a lot of sense. Because isn't there a theory that Roman was around in Scream 1? He was the ghost face in the bushes.
He's the one that's... Yeah, so basically people are more or less convinced that he was the one that appears in the reflection in the shop and in the bushes because just timeline-wise it doesn't make sense. But that's what Billy and Stu. And also, why would you be... If you're Billy and Stu, you're known in the town, why would you then walk around with a ghost face mask to watch? You could just hide in a bush as yourselves and just appear. Whereas nobody knows about Roman. So there'd be a random guy in a bush and be like, who are you?
Yeah, exactly.
Type thing. So, yeah.
So, does that kind of make sense? Like, what do you think? How valid do you think that
I don't know if the therapist bits, because I think that was Bailey, because he literally asks where Sam was for her alibi and she gives him her, like, the full address and then boom, the therapist is dead.
Unless this whole trilogy has just been Tara and Stu.
You're so convinced about Tara. It's just ridiculous.
She gives me bad people vibes, okay?
Is it just because it's Jenna Ortega?
Yes.
You just don't trust her.
I don't. I saw her do that Wednesday TikTok dance. I didn't think it was that impressive, and people still cheer her on.
Don't even get me started. Wednesday was overrated, whatever.
Yeah. But do you have any theories of your own for Scream 7?
I think Stu's coming back. I bet he says every film. I just want him back.
I mean, I could sense disappointment that you were happy with the film.
Well, I was happy it was Ethan because I was correct. Because I was right. He just looked dead inside.
He did look a little bit dead inside. I also thought it was a massive creepy line where he was like, wanting to stab Tara.
Yeah, we're not going to repeat exactly what was said. That was an interesting one.
It gave me very incel vibes.
Yeah, especially when the actor played him was 17 at the time when they filmed it.
Oof, that's a bit disgusting.
Yeah. I'm not going to defend Quinn and Ethan.
Yeah.
But I do think they were probably manipulated by their dad to do it, especially when
I feel like Ethan and
Bailey
Quinn
literally said the special bond between his first son and his father, and Ethan's literally standing right there. You
can kind of feel, like, you can actually see it in Quinn's face as well.
There was definitely some parental issues going in there.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it doesn't excuse them, like,
no.
Still a crime.
Because also, it kind of makes sense if you think about it, especially, obviously Quinn was, like, fake death, so you don't see what her reaction was to stuff.
Yeah.
But Ethan, when Mindy was stabbed, could have just finished her off, but he didn't. He got her to hospital and then appeared.
Yeah, so part of me thinks that maybe
they didn't want to do it.
Yeah, they're not as into it as their dad was.
Yeah.
They're not into this whole revenge thing.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, Sam killed her brother, but at the end of the day, our brother was a bit of a
weirdo.
Yeah, that's one way to put it without.
Also, I kind of
because he literally was dating a teenager, like his mid-20s.
I mean, I also think that Richie just kind of gave off this whole mean older sibling vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
the casting was quite good though, because as soon as they said you're Richie's family, I suddenly went,
they
do look similar, but you didn't realise until they said it.
Yeah, I mean, I also love this whole commentary on, like, online world and how easy it is to manipulate somebody's, like, public image.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the sound of things, Sam had an okay public image, despite
and then
the
it was
Quinn.
Quinn.
And then Quinn came along and used her social media powers.
Yeah.
She made that filter for her brother. Yeah.
So I thought it was great, and I'm glad that I was correct for two things.
Yeah.
And I was technically correct with it being 3 Ghostface killers with the actual trio.
Yeah, and of course we had Sam as well, donning the Ghostface mask. I don't understand why they keep pushing this whole Sam is secretly psychopathic.
Because she might just give in in Scream 7. That's my theory. I don't think it's going to be Tara. I think if one of the two sisters is going to give in, it's going to be Sam. Because they're hinting at a big time that she just has these, like, serial killer urges.
Yeah, I mean, that moment in the psychiatrist's office, like, people are acting as if, like, it was unfair that he was going to report her to, like, services. I was a bit like, Yeah, if someone was saying that to me and I was a therapist, I would probably be reporting it to the police as well.
It also makes sense that she would have even more serial killer tendencies, considering not only was her dad Billy Loomis, her grandmother was Nancy Loomis. Out of Scream 2.
Just psychopathy.
So it just clearly runs in the family.
Yeah, it's just a never-ending cycle of genetic downfall.
Exactly.
Anyway, I think that comes to the end of the show. Does it? I don't know.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I think so.
So, would you recommend Scream 6?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I say you need to watch Scream 5 first, or just Scream 2022. It's a weird naming system.
Scream 5, let's be honest.
And then watch Scream 6, but definitely highly recommend it. It's incredible.
I mean, I would even recommend 5 and 6 to people who haven't watched the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Because it's, I would say, like I was saying earlier, I think Scream 1 to 4 is Wes Craven's own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say any should ever touch that.
Mm-hmm.
But Scream 5 and 6 are honestly not afraid, obviously because of Wes Craven's untimely death. I think they had other plans, but the fact that they're not trying to mimic his style, not trying to mimic his work, it kind of lets his work rest in peace.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he's handed the torch over, he's probably smiling up at us from hell.
From hell? Whoa! Whoa! Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to work in a Taylor Swift line there. It's an anti-hero. Which is now my new national anthem.
You can really tell that I don't listen to Taylor Swift, can't you?
Yeah. You're not a Swiftie like me.
I'm really not.
Yeah. For me, I would say Scream 6 is definitely one of the best Scream movies. I feel like Scream has never had a miss. It's just had a lot of meh.
Yeah, Scream 3, I do like it, but
I can see where they were going.
Yeah.
It
had a lot of potential, a missed potential. Yeah.
I think it had a lot of potential. I can't believe it got made, considering Harvey Weinstein was still around in Hollywood at the time. And it was by the Weinstein production
company. But that's 2000. None of that came out like for years later.
I know, but people knew.
But like it was all hush hush.
Yeah. It was
all anyway, we're not getting done for defamation.
Yeah. Let's not get done for defamation or slander. Technically, it's not though because he was convicted.
Yeah. Is that contempt of court sign staring right at me behind you?
Yeah. Who knows?
So yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back next week, and of course we'll be doing The Sandman, which we'll have watched at least the majority of the episodes. Can you not size if I'm giving you homework? As if I've just told you your dissertation is due next week.
Yeah, I will watch it. I'm on episode 4 out of 10.
10. I reckon you can get through to about... See, I think a lot of them kind of meld together.
Oh, I binged like the first 2, but doesn't sound very great. But like the first episode was like an hour and a half.
I binged the first 2 and then like...
The first episode was really long, okay?
And then lost complete interest.
And then I watched 3 and 4 and then I'll get to 5.
5 and 6 are honestly the best, if that convinces you to continue. Anyway, So next week we'll be back with The Sandman, which of course is a Neil Gaiman. So if you like any Neil Gaiman fans out there, give us a listen, who knows. Boost our listenership, because right now it's pretty low. Unless you're on our YouTube channel, at which point, congratulations.
We can't see you.
Yes. If you've just tuned into this show and are thinking, what is going on here, but that sounds pretty good and you're kind of interested, we'll have this uploaded at some point on YouTube. I will not be dictating editing schedule because we've got a lot going on. Anyway, so if you want more Geek Show news, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at geekshow_GCU. Also, if you're listening to our show and thinking you can do way better than us, you can start your own show. We challenge you to it. So if you want to do that, email programming.radio.caley@gcustudents.co.uk. That's programming.radio.caley@gcustudents.co.uk. And follow Radio Caley on all their social medias on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We've got a MySpace, that's how old Radio Caley is. It's about to celebrate our big birthday, I can't remember what it is, but we've also got the birthday party happening in a couple of weeks' time, so book your tickets now to avoid disappointment. Anyway, I think that kind of rounds it up. Our last song to round out the show, of course, is Red Right Hand by Nick Cage and the Bad Seeds.
Nick Cage?
Cave. Yes, Nick Cage has started his own band. Right, and with that, Emma's going to hit play and we can finally get back to doing our
see you next week when Rose is caught on her sleep, I think.
Yeah, I've only got 4 hours sleep, what can I say?
Right, see you.
See ya.